Trimble Access is their software that goes back and forth, right? You can use it for GPS, you can use it for terrestrial total station, you can use it to map, and now you can use it for flying some of their drones. They also have, this is called the Trimble UX5. This is not the UX5 HP that has the the high order GPS in it. This is just the UX5, so this one we use ground control for. They also have one called the ZX5. There's ZX5, same platform as far as data gathering, but it's a Rotorcraft. The advantage that there's advantages and disadvantages to fixed wing versus Rotorcraft. Fixed wing, of course, can cover a lot more ground a lot faster. Fixed wing can also operate usually longer. Rotorcraft tends to suck some battery down when you get in any kind of crosswind and stuff like that. You get into heavy winds. The Rotorcraft really has to work hard to stay on point, where the fixed wing does a better job of it. The other thing that this one offers over some of its competitors, and the reason we went with it, is it's more robust. I was just talking with a gentleman about, there's a company that makes one called the ED. The ED is very easy to launch. It has a propeller that spins right here. You hold it in your hands. It only weighs about 2 pounds, and you shake it 3 times and just kind of give it a toss and hope it flies. This one doesn't. The propellers do not turn until it's up and off the launcher and away from any human intervention. And now they have a kit for the release button that's like 15 feet long, so you can stand back here. Just because some entities are saying, hey, we'd like it to be a little bit safer. Can we do something? There's some people I've seen overseas that set up a guard right here. They have like a clear plexiglass, kind of like a fold out you'd have at a conference or something. They fold it out right here to protect people. We've never run into any issues with the thing. It's very robust, like I said. Blake likes to tell people that every time we fly it, we crash it. That's not actually true. It's a controlled landing. So it comes in. We'll fly it here. We're going to do a couple passes of this. I just made a little game plan for it, and I can kind of show you guys on the controller there. It'll fly up. It'll get to altitude pretty quickly. Zip back and forth.
Travis has had terrible luck with his field days. He's had 30-mile-an-hour winds and stuff like that every time he's tried.
We've already set the GPS points for our takeoff and our landing spot, so it adjusted our flight plan to where it needs to be. It'll prompt you. It'll say, hey, are you ready for me to land? Is it free of people? Is it free of obstruction? Is it safe to come in? And then you radio back to it. Yes, sir. It is ready to come in. And then it will do another final rotation in its holding pattern. Come down, and you can set it now if you're in an area that has higher trees, you can set it to come down at a steeper elevation and then flare out, or you can set it to come down very gracefully and kind of slope. Now, sometimes it doesn't come in as graceful as you want it to, but it comes in, and it's okay when it comes in.
Any landing you walk away from is a good landing.
That's right. So the way we have it set now is to go up, to come in kind of soft and land. What it does is right before it comes down, it'll go reverse thrust. It'll spin the motor backwards real fast. And that's part of the design of the propellers. That lessens right at the moment it turns, it lessens the stress on the motor by folding them back. And it comes in and it'll go reverse thrust and just go kind of skip along the ground. Best place we've found for it to land, soybean fields. They're like a nice big set of open arms. As it comes in, and it doesn't damage them too much. Farmer, you just kind of fluff them back up. So the other thing that Trimble has done with this product is they've developed a very good safety and protocol program that's built into here. It makes you follow 26 steps before you even get to launch it. We've gone through a couple of them to expedite the process. But it says you check this, did you check this, is it doing this, does it make this sound? And those are all systems checklists. Like I said, if you guys are familiar with planes, you have to do all kinds of systems checks before you're allowed to leave the ground and throughout your flight. This thing is very automated in what it does. So we'll go forward. I can just kind of show you.
I'll launch it.
All right, come on over.
Mr. Orange Shirt.
Great pumpkin. Way to ensure you're not the target anymore.
Orange is always the first victim. I mean volunteer. 3, 2, 1, and just pull on it. 3, 2, 1. 2, 1. So once you launch it, very hands-off. Runs on autopilot, and if we need to adjust it, we can. As far as if there's any kind of obstructions,
Comes back at us.
if another plane comes in the area, we can do. There's a Deadhead mode where it's just like crash now. She'll take a dive. We haven't had to use that yet.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood, yeah. Otherwise, there's a holding pattern thing too, where you can send it up to 400 feet or whatever elevation you want, and say just sit here and spin while we figure something out.
Martin, here it comes.
Run!
It's coming right towards me. I think he has it zeroed in on the orange shirt. I'm gonna step over here. Nice.
Oh wow.
So I was saying like small sites where we did the couple compost sites for volumetrics. We did with these cameras. You fly them vertically, and then you also fly emissions oblique around them. The data, the processing software will merge them together, and then you create the same thing. You create a point cloud out of it, develop a mesh, get the volumes for the guys, or you can do mapping off it. You can do inspections with it. We have another one that has a camera that's actually mounted out front of it. So the camera is actually mounted out here, and it has a digital zoom. So we use that one for inspections. If someone wants to inspect a tower or anything like that, you can get right up to it, and your propellers and stuff are still back, and your props you don't get any sun glare or anything out of the props because the camera's out front.
Or an unruly neighbor.
Yeah, as long as they don't shoot you down. So this one, these are the same thing. They have. It has a couple different modes. It has sport mode. It has ADI mode. ADI mode is it has a GNSS antenna built into it, and also an IMU. So sometimes you have to calibrate the IMU to get to drive right, to fly right. But the GNSS keeps it kind of stable, right? So you want to take off and go right over here and then hover a second. So he's in GNSS, GPS mode right now. So it hovers very nicely, right? It's checked by the IMU and by the GPS. It gets very still. You want to flip it into ADI mode real quick? And see how it kind of starts to move? That's with no GPS. You have to manually get there. Put it back in GPS mode. Go up. So this one as well, we have all of our controllers set. Go to 400 feet. We have all of our controllers set so 400 feet.